This come right. Hello, long
Hello,
time no
been a while.
podcast.
Yeah, been some time.
Yeah, yeah. We should explain for all those people who've obviously been really missing us that I don't know about you, but I really misunderestimated. Is that a word? Is that a word? I don't know. Anyway,
I think
not
so.
underestimated is a word, not misunderestimated. I underestimated. Um, how busy the school holidays would be. Stupidly,
Yeah,
I'd kind of thought, oh well, because my kids are like 17 and 14. I thought, it's not like you've got to keep them entertained, like, when they're very young. So I thought, well, I'll just I won't book in a lot of meetings and stuff, so I can just really focus on getting a lot of stuff done that it can be hard to find the
yeah.
time to do when you're busy, out and about and what have you. And it's the times like that because like with
It does. It just
the kids
goes.
them being older, it's like it's not as simple as kind of your pick up and drop offs. It's like in terms of with the mum, but it's right. I need picking up from here at this time because I'm going there, and then but I need to be there, and it's like bloody hell, and like so yeah, I haven't known whether I'm coming or going half the time, so
I
it's
don't even know
really
what
hard
day
to
it was
find
half the
time.
time.
Aye,
Just the
but
time of the day just was meaningless over the holidays. I didn't
yeah,
even know. Kids just got out of bed when they wanted and just went to bed when they wanted half the time. So our days were just all muddled up.
yeah. But has it been good? Has it been a good summer for you?
Yeah, yeah, we've had a good time. Done a few different things. I can't remember half of them. I know I wasn't drunk or anything like that.
I'm not saying
I don't
anything.
think. No, I wasn't. Yeah, we went to visit the Lowry Museum
Oh, fantastic.
in Manchester. I've been wanting to go there for so long, so it
Yeah,
was so nice
yeah,
to go. Yeah, I've always wanted to go and see Lowry's work. It's been like a bucket list of
yeah,
mine.
yeah.
So I've been like saying to John for a while now, oh, can we go to the Lowry? Oh, we will. We'll do it when the kids are off, because then obviously we can go and spend a day or stay overnight without having to worry about the school.
Yeah.
And we did. We just went and kids got babysat, and we went off on our own. A nice change, and yeah, it was lovely. Just even I felt like even seeing his work was. I mean, seeing his work was wonderful. Don't get me wrong, but just being in the area, like where
Yeah,
he used to live, and just like walking where. Oh, I wonder if he walked down here,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
wonder if he saw that lake, and just stuff like that.
I was gonna say I'm just gonna close the doors, like opening and closing. I'll just close it. Was
The ghost.
I was gonna say, were you doing that where um that kind of looking at the kind of landscapes and the views around you, and
Yeah.
applying that to his mindset, and like you say, whether he'd been influenced by that, or it must have been
Yeah, because he was influenced by a lot of what was around him. I
yeah,
mean, we didn't like venture too much into like the industry of it, because we didn't bring the car. We got the train down, so yeah, we were getting like taxis here, there, and everywhere. And I
all
really wanted to go and see. There's like a bench with him, a statue of him on the bench. I really wanted to
right,
go and see that, and I wanted to go and see his home where he lived as well.
right.
But then we didn't get a chance to go there, so maybe that's an excuse to go again. But John even got scammed.
Hey,
Yeah.
how?
So we got off the train and we were in the train station and we were just waiting. And yeah, we got our bags and we were like, should we order an Uber? Because we don't know where we're going. And then we waited outside and we were like looking around, like, okay, we'll get an Uber from here. And then this taxi pulls up at the side of the train station, right? And he said, "Oh, are you after a lift?" So we were like, "Yeah." So we got in and we sat there. And then he's like, "Oh, I'll ring it through." And then he goes on the phone and starts talking to somebody. And then he's like, "Oh, yeah, it's £20." And I was like, "How much? 20 bloody quid? Is he having a laugh?" So anyway, so John was like, yeah, okay, because he'd been to London to see Oasis previously, like a few weeks ago.
Okay.
And so he was kind of feeling like that sort of price was probably what it would be. So while we were sat there, I went on the Uber app and I put in, and guess how much it actually came to? Like £5 something. And I was like,
That's
oh my
shocking,
God.
that.
Yeah. So I said to him, we don't get in any taxis flagged down anymore. We'll just get them on the Uber app. So yeah, we didn't really
Yeah, yeah.
trust the taxis so much there then after that. But
That's
yeah, it was good though. And it, you went to the Van Gogh experience thing, didn't you,
in
before?
York, yeah, yeah.
Did did it was it anything like this? Because I thought it was absolutely amazing. So we'd gone in, we thought we were just going to see the work, the
Yeah.
paintings. And when before we went in, they said, "Do you want to do the Lowry 360?" I thought, well, that sounds interesting. The Lowry 360, yeah, I'm all up for that. No idea what it was. So we'd gone into this room and there was like all these people sat around. We all had to sit on the ground. And then up flashed like a big, like all the walls were his paintings. And they had all the little people in his paintings like walking around,
Yeah, yeah.
and they had like a voiceover and like people explaining what was going on in the paintings. It was so good.
Yeah, that is like the Van Gogh thing. And
Is it?
it's so in York, it's
Yeah,
like an old church building. And so you go into like a main hall area, and it's like there's like kind of pews down the side, and then there's like deck chairs in the middle, so you can kind of recline back. And it's about 40, 45 minutes. And it yeah, takes you through his life. And
mm,
it's everywhere, like you said there, the walls, the ceiling, everything, it's his
yeah,
work, and his work moving. And it's just incredible. And have I mentioned before the film? I think I have, the film Loving Vincent.
yeah. You have
Yeah,
told me, but I've not watched that yet though.
honestly, and I need to watch the Lowry one with Timothy Spall that you've
Oh,
mentioned.
that's amazing, that one.
Um,
I'm just altering my camera, by the way, because
that's
I am. I've took refuge in the kids' bedroom. I'm just
a-
sitting on the floor right now.
yeah. Well, right, I have to say, so it's almost like an optical illusion. So your top, like the grey white bits on the sleeve, they're like
Yeah,
blending into your background. So it looks as though you haven't got arms.
I've got no arms.
Your arms cut off there. Uh,
No, there's been many of occasions where I've been legless, Matthew, but never
yeah,
armless.
never arm. I was going to say being armless. That'd be not very good for your art, would it?
No, I don't.
No,
Well,
anyway.
I mean, I am all right with my toes.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you'd find a way to. Well, you'd always find a way to create, wouldn't you?
Well, I
Um,
can write. I can write with my toes. I can hold a pen and write.
really, really.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not getting my feet out on camera,
No,
like, but
I
I
was going to
can.
say I'm not going to ask for a live demonstration, but
You never know on this podcast. It goes
yeah,
all different directions.
I do think
Yeah,
that's going to end up as a post on your TikTok. It'll be tragic if that doesn't happen now. You've raised everyone's expectations.
I can't be getting my dogs out online.
Hey God. Um, right. So let's. What have you been working on? So we've had a long period, obviously. I mean, it's a good couple of
Yeah,
months, isn't it, since the last
it's
pod?
been a while.
So
Yeah,
maybe some highlights in terms of what you've been working on.
it's hard to remember where we left it as to what we've worked on
Yeah.
since, but I've got a thing I'm currently working on at the moment, which is I will show which pad of paper I use
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
I've got one of
So
them.
I get this off Amazon, and this is what I've
Wow,
created so far.
that's
I don't know if you
fantastic.
can see it.
That's
So
so
he's got
far.
not even half a beard yet.
How long
Yeah,
has it
he's
taken
coming
you?
on.
How long has it taken you to get to where you are there?
I've done that in. So I started it around about 1 o'clock on the afternoon, and probably around about. So I finished it around about five. So about 5 hours because
Right.
I'd done another hour the following day.
Yeah,
So yeah, about 5 hours so far.
that's brilliant. That really, really
Thank you.
good.
I'm really enjoying it.
Fantastic.
It's been a while since I've like worked with my charcoals. I've been doing painting a little bit more recently.
Yeah,
So yeah, the charcoals have been locked away for a little while. So I was really excited to get them out actually.
yeah. So what
What
inspired
do
you to do Clint Eastwood?
Um, Well, he's got the perfect face to draw. It really has. I think
Not
I
character,
have
isn't
a
it?
saying. I have a saying where I've probably told you this before actually, but I have a saying where I'll be like, he seems to have a bald face. I can't draw that.
A bald
And
face.
a bald face, yeah. I've probably got a bald face. I wouldn't like,
What
and I
does that
know I've
mean?
done self portraits, but I don't think I'd really enjoy drawing me as much as I could draw him.
What's a bald face? Is that why you did a beard on your self-portrait recently?
I didn't really do a beard.
I know, but it was a good effect. Yeah, was it TikTok an effect or
Yeah,
something?
it was a TikTok filter that. Um, so a bald face is a face that doesn't seem to have much features.
Right.
Like I like a good beard, a decent beard and a tash, and I really, really need a few greys thrown in there, some nice straggly grey hair.
Yeah.
Wrinkles all the way. I need them wrinkles in there. But yeah, facial hair, wrinkles, frowns. I mean
I
that's
think
like that's perfect. You know,
yeah,
he's got the hair,
yeah.
the
There's so much
wrinkles.
character in his face.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm just scribbling down. You're right, because once you start talking this ideas for what this episode's going to be called, we've already got bald faces, good
Bald.
beards, tashes and wrinkles, and that's just me. Yeah, flipping heck.
So what
Uh,
have you been working on?
well, before that, I did want to mention your
Yeah.
the more abstract
Oh
piece
yeah.
you did. Were they like childhood, linked to childhood places?
Yeah, so I could go and get them, but I could get them.
That's
Shall I
all
get
right.
them?
I can pause. Yeah, I can
Okay.
pause. Go on then.
Wait, you can pause the video.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Right. We're back.
Right. We're back.
So let's
So
see your abstract pieces.
yeah, so I decided, um, well, to be honest, me and John were watching a show. That's where I got inspired from. Um, Fake or Fortune, that's it.
All right. Yeah.
So it's just basically about people. There's like a two presenters come together, and one's an art dealer, and one's a lady from who reads the news and stuff. And they do like little investigations. So somebody, like, say you go into a charity shop and buy a painting, and you suspect this could be by Vincent van Gogh.
Quick aside. Great
Yeah.
Facebook page. Terrible art in charity shops.
Oh, I'll
Oh,
have to have a look at that.
crackers. Anyway, yeah. Right. Uh,
So,
sorry for that. Go on.
so yeah, so basically they just find masterpieces and then they've got to find out where they've come from, you know, trying to find out the background of the pieces and figure out basically whether it's a real piece or not.
Sorry,
And some of
quickly.
them,
I'm going to jump in again. I've just got this thought of one day. Some like old lady saying, "Yeah, well, it was about 50 years ago, and I just found it in Stewart Park."
oh yeah, oh yeah, one of my, yeah,
It's
it
an
could be one of my
original
wooden
Nat Moss.
pieces. Sorry,
It's an original Nat Moss art.
it's a fossil. It's a fossil. Been in hundreds of years.
Right.
Um,
Anyway, right. I'm going to stop it.
yeah, that's all right. I interrupt all the time. It's fine.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so a lot of the pieces it was showing you were very abstracty, and I just thought to myself, I've never really dabbled in the abstract. I mean, for backgrounds for my paintings, I
Yeah.
have really, but not really like bold, striking colours. Like, you know, I've never really tried it, and I thought I'm going to try it and see what it looks like. And obviously, it's not the sort of work that I usually create. And I was a little bit like, oh, should I post it or not? And then I thought, well, you know, it's very different. It doesn't, art doesn't always have to look realistic for it to be classed as a nice piece of art. It
Yeah.
just depends
Yeah.
who looks at it and sees it and finds it lovely. You know, I might create this, somebody might go, oh, that's absolutely hideous, get it away, you know, but the next person might come along and be like, oh, that's lovely, I want to buy that. So
Yeah.
you never know who's looking and who's watching your work. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I just saw show it anyway. I'll stop talking, and this is the first piece.
Gorgeous that. I
Oh,
love
thanks,
it.
Matthew.
I look, God, the colours, the way like they complement each other. It looks fantastic. I love that.
But I won't lie, I'm not very clued up on which colours you should use for which. I just liked them colours and put them on, and just I thought, well, that's the colour I picked, and that's where I wanted it to
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
So that's what makes it mine, doesn't it?
yeah,
So, but yeah, this piece is it's meant to be more of a surreal looking one because, as you can see, the sun is square,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, and it's a very abstract Devil's Bridge.
Whereabouts is that?
You know, Groville,
Yeah, yeah,
as
yeah.
you're going up towards, we used to walk past it every day to go to school. So
Ah,
it's,
right.
I don't even know what your class is. It must be Ackland. Must be in Ackland.
Well, I think I
You
know what you
must know
mean.
Devil's Bridge.
I've not heard of it as that
Have
before.
you not?
I'll know. I think I know where I think I know where you mean. Is it?
Yeah, it's down
So
the back.
I was going to say if you go from the lane from Easter side,
Yeah,
right up through to that takes you up in,
Salterspring.
yeah, like Green Lane and stuff. Is it along that way?
So if you go down the lane where Easter Side is, and then you come to Salterskill, and
Yeah,
then if you turn left, there's like some little pathways, and it
yeah,
leads
yeah.
to Devil's Bridge. But we used to
Right. Yeah, I
spend a
would have
lot of
passed it. We
time
used to
there.
go running down there.
Well, you certainly ran straight past the bridge then, didn't you? You
Yeah.
didn't even know where it was.
Yeah.
But we used to spend a lot of time there when we were kids and stealing golf balls that had come over and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And then because I'd done that piece, I'd bought when I got these canvases, there was three of them. So I thought, right,
Are
I'll do
they
three.
canvas boards from the
Yeah,
works? That's what I
the,
paint on the 12 by 10.
do you know what? I don't know what the size is. I've not measured it, but
Yeah, I think that's the same as what I use. But anyway, go on.
does it look about the right size?
Yeah, I'll show you mine in a minute. But yeah, about so. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I thought I usually do them on canvases, but the space is now running out and I don't have a great deal of space left. So I thought I'm going to try a few panels. I
Yeah.
mean, I used to use these actually when I first started painting, weirdly enough, for portraits
Ah,
for
right,
oil
okay.
paints. But yeah, I just thought I've got three of them in a pack, so I'm going to do three abstract pieces. So my second piece was this one.
Oh wow. Oh, I love that. I've not
So
seen
I've
that.
done.
I must have
Have
missed
you
that.
not
I've not
seen it?
seen that. No. Oh wow. One of my favorite, well, probably my favorite film, Jaws. I just watched it for about 580th time the other day. It's fantastic that. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Well, the kids looked at it and they were like, "What the hell?" Because if you look carefully, it's got like propellers at the top.
All right. All right, yeah.
So the reason, so that well, the reason I painted this, the ideas behind it was when I was a kid, I was absolutely terrified of helicopters. I hated them.
Really?
I think it had something to do with where we grew up in Groville. There was always cars being stolen and screeching around the streets,
All
and
right.
we would always have like a helicopter
A
hovering
police
over.
helicopter.
Yeah, and my mum used to say, "They're watching you. They can see you." And I used to look up and think, "Oh my God, it can see me." And then one day, and this is what this is about, because if you can see there as well, it's got a spotlight at the front.
Oh, yes, yeah. Oh, wow, yeah.
So this particular night, me and my brother were playing Kirby outside,
Love that.
and it was like it was winter, but it wasn't cold yet as such. It might have been autumny winter time, and I just remember it wasn't very late, but it was dark, so it must have been dark nights. And we were playing with the ball, and the next minute, this helicopter comes flying over, hovered above us, sorry, and this spotlight just beamed down onto us, and I was absolutely terrified. And I mean, I was probably about 7 or 8, and I used to look up when I saw helicopters and think it looks like a shark in the sky.
Oh, wow.
And so that's what it's called, a shark in the sky.
Love that.
Thanks. So let's see yours then. I want to see what you've been
Well,
working on.
so I've been working on a few commissions actually. So
Right.
obviously I haven't got them to show because
Oh yeah.
I haven't got them anymore. Um, But I'll tell you because one in particular I'd actually like to tell you a little bit about. It's very special.
Okay.
But I've been working on my Rocky collection. So this is something that I'd wanted to do ever since I started painting. Because
Yeah.
when I started, um, it was very much about people who have inspired me, or yeah, so people that mean significant to me have inspired me, but also iconic, iconic figures from my life. And Rocky Rocky 2 got me into boxing as a 10-year-old. I was obsessed with it ever since. And so I did a painting of Rocky last year. It was one of the first ones I did, and I haven't been happy with it. And I thought I wanna have another crack at getting a good
Yeah.
Rocky. So the one I got was from Rocky 2. I was really happy with it, and it's I haven't got that one because that's up on in my gallery on my wall. But so I've done the his main rivals. So the first one I'll do them in the order I painted them rather than in the order they appear in the films. So Rocky 4,
That's brilliant.
Drago,
Yeah. That's
um,
amazing.
and then Rocky 3, Clubber Lang, Mr. T.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love the colours. I love the colours that you use in your background as well. You always
thank
have
you.
great colours in background, and they
Well,
always complement the piece as well.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it is important. I think it's yeah, it is important, isn't it? To it's that, and I found you sometimes I'll put a color on, it's not been right, and it's
Mm.
like when you said about putting colors together, you just know, don't you, whether it
Yeah.
brings it out or whether it just mutes it or whatever.
Can
But
I just say as well, you've really come on leaps and bounds since you picked up that first paintbrush. You really, really have.
yeah, I know. I've definitely seen that recently. I think
You're
the
capturing the portraits, like you really are capturing the people.
well, thank you. I think the Kurt Cobain one, I think that was a real kind of a significant one in terms of really thinking,
Yeah,
how we've improved. But then that's Apollo
brilliant.
Creed from Rocky 2, because
I
that
don't think I've seen this one. Have I seen that one?
I think so, yeah. Um,
I don't think I have.
so yeah, Apollo. So like I say, that's from Rocky 2. That was the
Yeah,
thing that got me into it. So yeah, so I've done them, and so I'm really happy with them. And
they're
then
absolutely brilliant. And I am butting in, but
sorry.
I was showing John your work the other day.
All right, okay.
Because you must have really similar interests to John
All right, okay.
because he absolutely loves Rocky. He's a massive Oasis fan. He loves boxing and
All right,
literally, and a Star Wars fan. He loves Star Wars. He's obsessed with Star Wars.
all
The
right.
amount of times he's watched it.
Eight,
Um,
80s kids growing up in the 80s. We're all the same.
well, he was just like, I showed him and he went, "Oh, I love him." And he was looking through and he was saying how brilliant they were. And he said to me, Matthew must have very similar interests. I said,
Yeah, yeah.
You do, you must.
Oh, well, thank you, John. I appreciate that.
I'll
Um,
pass that on. No, I'm
but
not sure if he watches the podcast.
I'll just pass. But yeah, love painting them, and it's that um, very significant to me, and
Mm,
it's still it's every now and again. I'll say every now and again. It's more often than that, but I'm sure there's plenty of us who'll bang on the training sequences or the fights on YouTube from the films. Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I did that, and then like I said, I've had a few commissions, and one of them
it's brilliant.
really significant, and it's quite a nice story. Well, nice story, I think, but also it's like some sadness as well. So um, as you know, I started painting a couple of years ago after
Mm,
my partner died,
yeah,
and that's it's a difficult time because that it's anniversary next week, so it's a very difficult time. Obviously, lots of
yeah,
very painful memories of what was happening at this time, and yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so that's why as I say, it's not why I started painting, but it was after that that I kind of discovered painting, I guess, and it became way of um my way of dealing with it, really, and um
Do you
having
find it
something new in my
helps?
life. Yeah, having something new in my life to absorb me, and
Yeah,
that creation of something new, and and say the fact that it was people who inspired me. I don't, and yeah, it was, and I mean, we interpret life our own way, and I say this is about, we create narratives around our life and our beliefs, and because I've said before I'd never painted before, and so I do think it was kind of like a gift from her to help me,
yeah,
um to help me through it. And anyway, when after she died, I reached out to somebody, a woman called Holly Matthews, and I can't remember how we connected. I mean, she's like a confidence coach, and
yeah.
um, because of the work I do with my mental health enterprise, I get shown a lot of coaches and people like that in terms of on my algorithms on social media. Anyway, we'd connected, and I knew that she'd lost her husband. She's only a young woman, and her husband died of brain cancer, and it was the
Oh,
same
that's
thing.
awful.
Anne Marie had lost her fiance to the
Right.
same illness.
Yeah,
And anyway, so Holly I'd communicated with her before because she'd had an event coming up in it must have been about 3 years ago now, 2.5, 3 years ago. And I'd seen it advertised, and I said, "Oh, look, if you're looking for any speakers, I do a lot of that kind of thing."
yeah.
And that was the first communication I'd had with her, and she said, "Oh, it's all kind of confirmed now, but uh, send me your um, email address. I'll send you some complimentary tickets." Which I thought, "Oh, that's really
Oh, that's
right."
lovely.
Anyway, we couldn't, and I was really looking forward to it. And then in the end, my daughter was in hospital, so I couldn't go. And so I explained to her, I said, I obviously appreciate the gesture, but can't make it. And she
Yeah.
sent a copy of her book to my daughter. She said, "Oh,
Oh, how lovely.
it's called the Happy Me Project,"
Yeah,
and that's she runs a online membership around that. But anyway, so she sent this book, and I just thought, what a nice thing to do. She'd never
yeah,
do
that
that.
is.
Anyway, so after Anne Marie died, and it's weird. It's really weird. It's like a lot of it's like a blur. It's like I think your brain blocks a lot of it out, and
Mm.
then and it's weird because then at the time, like now at this time, it's like it kind of all comes back. It's like you're there again. It's a really strange thing, grief. But anyway,
Do
um,
you find that since you've been painting that, when you mentioned it's like it's the anniversary coming up,
yeah.
do you find that now you can paint, that you can, does it feel like it's a bit easier because you've got that?
Oh yeah, because I can be absorbed in painting. When
Yeah,
I'm painting, I'm not thinking about anything else.
yeah,
I'm
same.
just absorbed in what I'm doing. And I love reading, I love listening to music, but I can doing those things, my mind can drift off, but it never does when I paint. And
Yeah,
almost, and that can be a bad thing because I lose track of time. And like it might be 3 hours and someone sent me a message and I've not, and the time just gets away. And
yeah,
um,
same.
so yeah, it does help me a lot because it absorbs me in. And I and it's that balance. You only get through, you know, with all that challenges, we only get through things by facing them. We can't push away horrible feeling because they're there and they'll come out one way or another. But you can't be just facing it all the time. You need to have that. So having that time, that escape, um, really helped. And anyway, so after Anne-Marie died, I'd reached out to Holly because I knew her husband had died. And I
Yeah.
just said, like, I can't even remember what I said. It was just like, I don't know anyone else. I knew a couple of people. I reached out to a couple of people I knew. She was one of them that, this has happened, and it's like needing anything to offer you some sort of kind of hope, because how the hell do you deal with something like that? And she, I think it was about the next day. So I just sent her a little message on Instagram, and she replied with, 15 minutes worth of voice notes talking me. And it was like, first of all, it's a very individual thing. So none of this is you must do that, but this is my experience and things
Yeah.
that helped me. And again, I just thought, what a kind thing to do. She didn't have to do that, and I really appreciated it anyway. So coming to now, she's running an event in Newcastle again on the
All
15th of
right. Okay.
November. And she she loves my artwork, and she's commented it on on social media and stuff, and say I'm a part of her membership now, and and she's very supportive. And anyway, so with this event, she's invited me to have a stall to display and sell my
Oh, that's
work.
you. Oh, that's
And
brilliant.
generally you have to pay to
Yeah.
for those kind of opportunities. And yeah, and she just said, "Oh, I'd love to have you there doing it." And so she's and Holly's so she was an actress. So her
Right.
kind of confidence coach, her experience as an actor and a training, that's something that
Yeah.
kind of informs your part of her work. And so she was in Biker Grove for a number of years, and Waterloo
Oh,
Road. Um, so she's done a lot in
yeah.
her life. And yeah, and then so she offered me that, and I thought, well, I'm gonna offer. I say, right, well, I'll as a thank you, I'll paint a portrait of your choice, whether it be you, your kids, your late
Yeah.
husband. And she said, "Oh, I'll have a think and I'll get back to you." And so I said, "That's lovely. I'll think about who I'd like to do." And anyway, um, and then she said, "Oh, it would probably not my husband, because it'll be like too much pressure for you." I said, "No, no, no, no. It's like, you can paint
Yeah.
one face. You can, I have that. I'll be able to paint them. But anyway, so I painted her a portrait of her husband. And
Right.
we've said this before. It's like with a commission, it's and particularly with a portrait, I think it's very different, because you particularly when it's not someone you've met or you don't know, and you're just going on this picture.
It's
It's
really, really difficult when you're doing a portrait. So it's like, you can have, let's say you're on Google and you're looking at pictures of Princess Diana,
yeah,
for instance. You're going to get a handful of pictures out of them that don't really look like her.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah,
I think everybody has certain photographs where you're like, oh, that doesn't really look like
yeah,
them that
yeah,
much. And you've got to look for one that looks most like them, if that makes sense. So, and that's because you know them and you can
yeah,
judge
yeah,
that. But when you don't know a person and you are trying to capture that person and their
yeah,
personality and their, features, and it's really difficult when you don't know them,
yeah,
because it's so hard to know. If I was drawing my mum, for instance, I'd know if it looked like her,
yeah,
or if I'd gone wrong slightly, or
yeah,
if I needed to alter something. But when you don't know the person, it's really
yeah,
hard, and it is more difficult when you don't know them. But I think it also puts more pressure on you to get it
yeah.
right as well.
'Cause I think it's like, for me, it's like, yeah, having to look at it more on a kind of technical level,
Yeah,
because you're not seeing them, you're just seeing. And because I'd seen she'd sent a few different photos and said, which do you think? And I said, well, do you have a preference? And because some are better resolution than others. And
yeah,
again, it looked very different on a few of them, like you said there.
yeah,
And anyway, it was, and I had it done, and you know where you kind of think you've got it, but you're not sure because it is that.
Yeah, I know that
Will
feeling
she
very well.
see her husband in it? Will
Yeah,
she see him as a, and I just don't know that. And so
yeah,
anyway, it's really nerve-wracking because obviously, if someone said, "Oh, look, it's not quite right," well, that's fine. You can alter it wherever, or you've done your best. But obviously, you don't want that to happen. But you don't. What you don't want, or I don't, anyways. Particularly if you've said, "Right, I'll do this for you," and then they're going to turn around and say, "Oh, yeah, that's rubbish. I don't like it." So yeah,
do,
you, you
do you know what
you
though?
want
That
them to
that has
like it, but
happened.
you want it to be genuine.
Yeah, that has happened to me before. Like, so I know we've talked about this on previous podcasts before, but well, previous episodes, I should say. It's so if you've got an in well for me anyway, when you've got an interest, like so I've really wanted to create a picture of Clint Eastwood.
Mm,
And because I truly wanted to do it, my heart was totally in it, and I
yeah,
really couldn't wait to get started. Now I've had to put it down because the kids were off, and I thought, right, I'll come back to it when I've got more time. I've got the house to myself. I can whack my music up and just, like you said, just get in the zone, just escape and do
yeah,
it. And then afterwards, when you step back and you think, wow, have I done all that today? And then you feel the proud feeling, and it's something you really, really wanted to do. And I always think it's a bit more difficult to get that with a commission, um, because you haven't chosen the picture. It's not
yeah,
somebody of your choice. It's somebody that
yeah.
obviously on your case was that you'd asked for that picture. You so in your mind, in your heart, you wanted to do that
Oh yeah,
picture.
yeah,
But it's like if you get approached by somebody and they say, can you do this drawing of my granddad or my grandma
yeah,
who's no longer here? And you feel like you really want to get it right, but it's like a battle in my own head. It's like you want to get
yeah,
it right and you want to do good, but because it's not in your heart of hearts and
yeah,
it's not something you chose, it's so hard to sort of push through that barrier of not really wanting to do it in your mind. Um, or when you're creating it, thinking about something else that you really,
yeah.
really wanted to
Oh
create.
yeah, yeah.
It's
Well,
difficult.
yeah, it is a very different thing, isn't it? And I think that the thing with this one,
Mm.
and I did another as well. So the George Michael one I did, that was
But
for
that was brilliant, that
uh
piece.
oh, thank you. Well, that was
Fantastic.
for my best
Was.
friend's son,
Yeah,
as a birthday gift. It was his 18th, so that was a birthday gift for him. And it's it's just nice doing something kind of it just I feel very very lucky that I'm I can do something that
you're able to give back to
yeah and that
people.
means a lot to people and
Yeah,
that that yeah it's something that's really special and so Holly she posted the portrait on her
on a
social
picture.
and seeing like all the comments from people who knew her husband and
Yeah,
stuff and it just and it's weird and it's it's weird thing because obviously for me having paid obviously it's very a big compliment to you and what you've done and but actually it was
very rewarding.
yeah oh yeah but what it was and is and what was really lovely was seeing how it led to people talking about him
Yeah,
and I hadn't thought about this before now but maybe it's because of where I'm at the moment but like that people sharing like, oh, I'd love to see that face, and sharing those things that, and it's so important because that's one of the things when you lose someone,
mm,
that's, I think the hardest thing. A lot of people think that, dealing with grief and means that you don't think about them so much anymore, or you don't need to talk about them anymore. Where it's the exact opposite. It's like because they were here and they mattered, and so so and people feel awkward and whatever. But I don't know. It just gave a thing where people shared just nice memories of him and
Yeah.
how much they missed him and loved him, and it just yeah, it just felt very special, really. And it's something that I'd like to do more of.
Well,
Yeah,
what you've done, you've basically brought his memory back to life, so to speak. People who've seen that have remembered, oh, I remember when I did this
yeah,
tiny bit. Oh,
yeah,
I remember when we
yeah,
did that. And they've been able, and they felt they've been able to share on that post the nice things that they remembered
yeah.
about him, which must be such a rewarding feeling.
Oh, honestly, it was.
Um,
And
I,
I was just going to say in that it's that again the power of art and creating
yeah, oh,
something,
yeah,
isn't it?
definitely.
It's that it evokes that,
It speaks, it speaks without saying a
Yeah,
word. That's what it does. And it's really is powerful. And it can touch, it's like I said something to my dad last night, actually. Me and my dad were talking about a few things, and I mentioned to him that art doesn't have a language. Art speaks to everybody in the same
yeah,
way. It doesn't matter where you're from, it doesn't matter what language you speak. It's
yeah,
the way that you see an artwork. Other people might interpret something different from that same piece, but it just doesn't have a language whatsoever.
yeah,
It can touch anybody in any place at any time, and I think that's what's so
yeah,
special about art.
yeah,
And it's
definitely.
I think as well, it's for you to do something like that for somebody. I mean, I know when I've done commissions myself of people who've passed away, and
Yeah.
it's such a very lovely, rewarding
Oh, yeah,
feeling inside.
yeah.
Um, I mean,
Well,
I find it a lot easier to do commissions when I haven't been asked to do them.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
most of my commissions I've done as gifts for people
yeah,
because I've wanted to do it.
yeah,
But I have
yeah. I
I
like to
have had
do
a
that.
few
Yeah,
commissions that have been asked, but I find them a
yeah.
bit more difficult to do. But you should be really proud of yourself
Well,
that
thank
you've
you.
done that, and it's yeah, it's created such a lovely atmosphere
Yeah,
around that post.
and I do. I feel very fortunate
Yeah,
that I'm able to do that. It's just really nice to be able to do something special for someone and that and that without when you go back to the kind of the fake or fortune thing but that
mm,
that I did one over Christmas as a Christmas gift last year as it was commissioned by a woman for her son of his granddad. And she was saying how it'll be in the family for generate. They want to pass it down through the family and
that's
keep his
lovely.
memory alive. And it's like it's such a special thing to be able to do that. And like say for me, I feel very I suppose going back to the start. It's like I do. Whatever. You know, however anyone rationalizes things, I do think it was it's a gift I've been given, and I don't think it was a
Yeah.
kind of an accident that
But
it happened the way when it
we've
did.
talked
Yeah,
about it, haven't we? We've
yeah,
talked about this before,
yeah,
and I know we've discussed it. And I remembered saying to you, I feel as though like a lot of my artwork. This sounds so depressive, but a lot of my artwork kind of comes from a place within me that's at a very dark place at that time. And what I'll do, this is the way I kind of describe it, is I'll have little boxes. And every time something in my life has been like traumatic or something not the best or a way that I felt at a particular time or an experience I had, I get them and I put them in little boxes and I
yeah,
keep them deep down inside. Then one day I could just be sat here and I'll be thinking, and my mind will just start to think about one of them boxes and
yeah,
it'll open up and then I start to think about it. And then what that does then is it brings this wave of darkness on me, and I feel like I've got to paint it or draw
yeah,
it or something
yeah,
I need to tell that story of that particular box to get it out from me and out of its box and onto a
yeah,
canvas. and I just feel it lifts you. But I think that, I mean, I can't speak for all of our artists. It would be interesting to find out in the comments if anybody has
Yeah,
got any
yeah,
opinions or can share their stories on this subject. But I do feel like a lot of artists have had traumatic experiences, or they've had
yeah,
times in their
yeah,
life where they've needed art to use, and it has been a therapy, and that's where
yeah,
their artwork
absolutely.
is evolved from. That's just my view on it.
Yeah, no, I tell you what, you said something really stood out for me there in what you said when you said that about, when you go into those boxes and you need to paint
Yeah,
or, and I think that is, there's certain things where, when we express ourselves and, in whatever medium, that you can't necessarily logically or rationally explain it to people. Like,
yeah, you
well,
can't.
why do you have to? And it is that I need to, I can't, you might not be able to articulate it yet. You just have that overwhelming sense and need to. I suppose there's getting something out, but also I think part of it's communicating something, connecting with other people, and that's and it's not about. Oh, it might be for some people, but it's not an ego thing. It's that it's humans, so we're wired to connect, and I think that in terms of particular stuff that's traumatic, it's that you're not on your own. If it
Yeah,
resonates with other people, if it and I don't know, I think it is a very instinctive thing as humans, and particularly when we do have that need to express ourselves. It can be hard to articulate where and why and how it comes from. I just think it's a very, very human thing.
it's it is, and I totally agree with what you've just said there as well. And I think when you, it's almost like when you get that urge that you need to create something, it's almost like it's like a ball of like bursting to get out, and then it just spills out onto the canvas. That's like, yeah, that's how I would probably describe it. It's just that it needs to come out and get on the canvas. But what I find really interesting about when I like, particularly when I'm creating from a negative experience in my life, and I have, like, I know we've discussed this before, but I have had comments from family members and friends saying, I think you need to make your art more colourful, more happy, more, and I have had it said as well, who, in the nicest way possible, but who wants to know about your past trauma or your negative experiences when they're looking at art? Like, why do they need to know about you? Like, but for me, I'm not just creating my art for you to look at.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm creating my art for me, because
yeah,
that's where, and I think it's really important as an artist, and for any artist, like, could be watching this. Um, it's so important not to lose that like authenticity of
A-
yourself in your art.
absolutely, absolutely.
It's then, like, anybody can create for other people.
Yeah,
If I said to you, Matthew, I want you to paint me a shark with you can paint that, but it's not something you might enjoy. You might sit there and think, well, bloody hell, I'm having to do a shark with a
yeah,
bloody police rope on the side of it. But for me, it meant something when
yeah,
I created that,
yeah,
because it was a memory I held
yeah.
in my mind as a child. So I just think that yeah, I think it's so important to not lose yourself within your
Yeah.
artwork, and always be true to yourself and your feelings.
And that, yeah, and that goes for life as a whole, doesn't it? It's
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
that word, and you said that where you said authenticity. It's a word I hear a lot at the moment.
Well, it's a word that I was hoping I pronounced properly as it
Yeah,
left my mouth.
yeah, you did well there.
Oh, that's why I
Uh,
paused before
did
I
well.
said
But not,
it.
it's but it's right, and when you were saying about people, saying, "Oh, your art needs to be more this and that," and I'm like, to me, it's like completely absurd that someone else can tell you how your art should be. Like
It's
nobody
only
can
you
tell
know
you
how
that.
your art should look. Like, at the end of the day, I don't paint pretty pictures. I don't paint beautiful scenes. I mean, may have painted a few pretty ones, who knows? But I don't intend, I don't sit there and think, right, I need this to be such a colourful, beautiful, scenery. When I pick up my pencil, I create from my heart. I know that
Yeah,
sounds
yeah,
so
yeah.
cheesy, but I do. I
True.
create memories and emotions and experiences that I've felt. And I think almost as if the canvases are like capturing moments in my life. And
Yeah,
it's like an autobiography
yeah,
as well.
yeah,
That's how I feel artwork tends to go.
yeah, yeah. It's really powerful, isn't it? And
It's amazing how powerful art can be, really is, when you think about it.
yeah, and I love how it's that thing where once it's out in the world, it belongs to everyone who is touched by it, and what their meaning can be different to yours.
Yeah, I
It
love
speaks
that.
to people in different ways. Um, yeah, yeah. I honestly, it's like that. I'm so kind of passionate about like say creating, and I've said this before that I don't feel I create in the same way that you do in that you express I do it through portrait and it's saying it's something about people that matter to me in some way or have influenced me. It's not like I create something wholly unique and original that nobody else could have
Yeah,
come
but
from anybody else. Oh no, but
that's yet to come.
yeah.
That's yet to come. Because when I first started, Matthew, when I first started to create, well, I mean, not when I first started, because I've just been drawing my whole life, really, but even as a kid, I would draw people. I used to draw a lot of animals, but as I got more serious, obviously had my kids and stuff, and then art kind of took a back step. But as I started to get more back into my artwork again, probably about 2010, it was all portraits, and it was always not very imaginative. There was no abstract feel to it. It was very portrait, like straight, like similar to what I'm doing with the Clint Eastwood. It was always drawings or paintings of people. And I don't know why I kind of went more towards people, because I was such, and still am, such an animal person
All
that I
right.
prefer animals over people any day. So I don't know why I feel so drawn to people's faces when I do artwork, but that's how I started, more so on people and faces. And
Yeah.
then after a while, I started to dabble in new stuff and use new things and think about, oh, well, what if it was more like this? And I think as you get more comfortable on your little art journey, I think, well, I'm saying little art journey. Hopefully, it's a huge
Yeah.
art journey. And yeah, I think that once you start to get more comfortable and you start to, your confidence gets, grows as you progress. I
Yeah.
think you will start to open new doors for yourself, and you will like just try out new stuff. And yeah, I think it's just beginning. And
Yeah.
you're fantastic already. So you can only imagine what things will be like in 10 years' time.
Well, yeah, thank you. It's funny though, you say, like I, I when you're saying about the colors and the background, I suppose that
Mm.
is part of how, in terms of being expressive,
Yeah.
I think how you paint and say the colors you choose, I think that's um I never look. And when I first started painting, it's like, how do you get proper skin tone? How do you do that? And then now, and I used to have like a piece of a pad next to me where I'd mix a color and then I'd see what it looked like, and then oh, it's not right. Now mix it, get it on. Oh, that's not right. All right, I'll
Yeah.
lighten it, darken it, whatever. And I
More spontaneous.
yeah, and I don't care if it's exactly right. It's
Yeah.
in the contrast, and it seems to be more
Well,
important. But
that just shows how much your confidence has grown
yeah,
already. Because to get to that point, I mean, it takes a lot to get to that point, really, where you're not worried about going wrong, and you just go for
yeah,
it, see
yeah,
what
yeah,
happens. But I think your artwork is expressive. Yeah, they are portraits, but the way that you use the brush strokes, spit that one out. Yeah, I think that the way you used your strokes, it is really expressive. It really is, and it's not just like, I've had it said to me about, oh, but why did you draw it like that? Why did people could just have the photograph of it rather than a picture that you've drawn? Um, who wants a pencil drawing when they could have the real thing? Why would they choose that? That has been said a few times actually.
Really?
And I just yours aren't like that. Yours have got expression and they've got
Oh, thank
colours
you.
to them. And I would know your work now. If I was scrolling down my Facebook and one of your new works popped up and I didn't see who done it,
Yeah.
I would know it was yours
Oh,
because
I
I
like
think
that. Thank you.
you've got a style, I can recognise your work.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you. It's like
You're
it's
very welcome.
it's funny. One of the things on the one I'm doing a commission. I say commission at the moment. It's a gift again, a gift.
It's still a commission though if you're doing it for someone else.
Yeah,
I mean, I would do
yeah.
that.
But the and I won't say who it is I'm doing, but I'll share
Yeah.
it when it's done. But this person's wearing like a jacket. It's got like a yellow and greeny, like furry kind of hood, and that I loved painting that because it was just like actually like no thought at all. Green, yellow,
Yeah.
just bash it on, and then and just be like scribbling that as opposed to do in terms of. It's funny, isn't it? Like with some people, I'll be much more precise.
Mm,
I think generally, I like things to be a little bit messy.
yeah.
And but I know with some people, it's like it's more. I don't know why, but it feels more important that it's precise. Whereas others, it's more. I think of the Liam Gallagher one where lines are much more just kind of messy. Uh,
Yeah. I think it feels good to do that though. Like when I've been, I mean, when I've been working on that portrait, for instance, I think it involves such concentration. Like your
yeah,
mind is so
yeah,
focused. Everything has to be so spot on and right, and you're so like, yeah, just have to. It has to be perfect for it to capture that. Because if you go wrong, if one eye's out here
yeah,
somewhere, or it doesn't look right. So I think you have to be so strict with yourself. But when it comes to doing something a bit more free and loose, and
yeah,
I find that so much nicer to sit and do because I think it just flows.
yeah,
And if it goes wrong and the paint dries, you can paint over it
yeah.
again. But it's much harder to like rub out charcoal marks and stuff. But I think it's much more freeing when you can do some loose work. So
Yeah.
I tend to enjoy that a little bit more sometimes.
It's funny, because maybe there's a question to put out to listeners, watchers,
Yeah.
that was something like a heart sinking moment where you've worked so hard on something and it's like, oh, mine is, and it's happened with a few portraits, and one of the commissions I've just done recently uh, for a friend who's a big boxing fan. He met with one of his kind of boxing heroes, and I've got a portrait of them together. And it getting the eye in the wrong place. Like when you're doing it and you're like, something not right, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh please, and I know it's the eye, but I don't want it to be, and it's like, what
Yeah, and you
I'm
don't want to move
slightly
it because it means
yeah, so
having to work on
when
it
the
again.
face is at an angle. So when I first started painting, I only did people that were looking straight ahead.
Yeah.
And now, whereas I like interesting angles. The George Michael one I love because it was just silhouette and you could only see half his nose, a closed eye, and a bit of his mouth. And it's like, if I can capture a likeness with so little to go on, I like that challenge. So I like that, different expressions but that when say if the face is tilted in a different way or wherever, like if it's just slightly off, and I hate
Mm.
it, I'm like no, and then I'll do that method where you say you overlay it. Oh, bollocks, his eyes in the wrong place, and so it's right. But that and so yeah, I'd like to know the people's pet peeves. Where but I find it is actually easy to repair. I just bash some white paint on it and
Mm.
then just do it again. It's like,
I prefer doing like side profiles and more like tilted profiles, like slightly to the side than full on like
yeah,
I always find it so hard And maybe it's because I don't tend to plan out. I mean, on this one, I did tend to not plan it out. All this was all, I mean, it's all freehand, you see. I started with the eyes and I work my
Yeah.
way out. But because I needed to see where the beard went, I kind of just sketched a little bit of
Yeah.
where the beard should go. But I don't pre-plan my portraits whatsoever. I just go for it and hope for the
I love
best.
that.
And sometimes, because I work from the inside out, you can get the eyes spot on and you think, oh, this is going so great. The nose is just like it. It looks just like it. And then you get to the jaw area and I'm like,
Isn't
nightmare.
isn't that a
Is that
horrible
maybe is that right?
that's another peeve, isn't it? I hate that way. Yeah,
Oh
like
yeah.
you because there's always that thing about ugly, the ugly stages of painting and that you need so many layers to build up, then it really starts looking like how you want it to. But that where you think you've got a likeness early on, you're thinking, oh yeah, I've got this. This is going to be great. This, and then you're painting away, and then you step back and think, God, that's rubbish. It's
Yeah,
like
the eyes and the nose, the mouth are perfect, but the head's massive.
I saw I saw something recently.
Did it have a big head?
Yeah, I'm trying to think what it was. Um,
I need to know now.
but that's the thing so in portrait groups and when sharing on Facebook, sometimes some people, I mean, most people are really nice and because they want to help people. When people say, "Look, I can't quite get this right," and like I've done with you, where it's like, I'm not seeing it objectively. Can someone kind of help? And generally,
Yeah,
people are really spot, but sometimes people like.
brutal.
Yeah, like is there any need for that? You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
the but who was it? There was one I saw say there was. Oh, it's gonna bug me, but anyway, there was someone I saw recently where it's like flipping heck, that head's massive. Um, Maybe one of the Gallagher's actually. Anyway, but but sometimes because you see it and you don't know whether that's their style or
Yeah,
whether it's a mistake. Because say we all have our own quirks and yeah. Again, you don't know what it is that they're seeing in it because where they might be like, yeah, that's how I want it to look. So that's it. Yeah,
well,
and
yeah.
you said before that, it's not my place to judge someone else's way. Up to them. I can have my own opinion on it, but
That's why
you don't
it's so
feel the need to
important.
tell the artist. I don't.
That's why it's important that what we just said there about it's you're not painting for other people because we could look at it and go, whoa, that head's huge. But then really that person meant to do it that way. So,
Yeah,
it's just you can always do your art to please yourself the way you want to do. But I tell you what, I'm on a some craft shame group thing. There's stuff on there, some of the stuff. Right, but the comments are brutal.
really.
And speaking like they just say the most awful things. Like, but there is some odd stuff. Like, um, what was one? I'm trying to think of some that I've seen. One of them got the somebody's ashes painted in to a painting,
All
and
right.
people were like shaming it. But I kind of think
I
that's a
like
nice
that.
thing to do. Yeah,
I haven't done it, but
but yeah, well, there's time yet. You never know.
but the
Maybe commission.
But I've heard one of the things I've heard is of people using ashes as part of a tattoo,
Oh yeah, I've heard of that before.
like
Yeah,
sort
I've
of
heard of that.
mixing with the ink. And that, see, and that I don't think, you know, anyone can have an opinion. Saying we live in a world with social media where it's like everyone feels they have to have an opinion and tell everyone, which is
Yeah,
ironic me
but
saying this on a podcast. But um, but things like that, it's like yeah, you're entitled to an opinion, but you don't have to tell anyone because it's none of your business, like what someone chooses to do.
yeah.
I just think it's such a personal and significant, painful and hopeful, all of these different things. I just think nobody has any right to comment on
No, they
people's
don't.
choices around things like that.
Think it's people feel they can sit there on social media. and comment things that they would never walk up to you in an
Yeah,
art gallery and say to your face.
yeah,
And I think it's so much easier now with with the like social media and technology. It makes it easier for people to hate. But I think as things go, the people who create art and are having them negative things, we're getting more used to hearing it. I mean, luckily,
yeah,
I don't really get much hate. I've not really, people on my page are really lovely and I've not really had much hate, but I have seen other people's pages get so much hate. And I just think, why should anybody have to deal or even feel like that's a normal thing?
yeah.
And it's getting more and more. But speaking of Facebook pages, a few weeks ago, so Lynn, who's on
Oh,
the
yeah.
art group, she reminded me of it actually yesterday, I think it was, because I was thinking I'm going to have to mention this on the podcast. So Lynn had mentioned that she's on, or she almost joined a washing line appreciation group, and I said, "Oh my God, how funny is that?"
Amazing
Because
what exists.
I'm a member, right? A very proud member, I will add. I'm a very, very proud member of the Gate Appreciation Society.
What? Like what? So what's that then?
So,
Their followers are gonna go through the roof after this, aren't they? They're gonna, what's happened?
so
Why suddenly loads of people got interested in gates?
there's like lots and lots of members, by the way. So it's a very popular group, so it must seem. But there's just people post. I mean, I found it interesting. The reason I joined was because I was scrolling down and saw this really fascinating gate and thought, oh, that's a nice gate. And then I looked, it said Gate Appreciation Society, and I thought, I'm going to join that actually. So I voluntarily joined. And then as I joined, I was looking down and there was all sorts of really strange and wonderful gates that I never knew existed, and now I do.
Well, I'm intrigued now. You're gonna have to send us a few choice selections. Um, Speaking of gates, um, if you haven't seen it, do a YouTube search. Tyson Fury trying to jump over a gate.
Tyson Fury jumping over a gate.
Yes, it's very, very amusing. It's only a few
Don't think I've
seconds.
seen them.
It's only a
I'll
few
have to
seconds.
watch
It's
it.
very, very funny. It was before, I think it was before his comeback where he was just, oh, he's had about 500 comebacks now. But when he'd been out for a long time after he beat Klitschko and he'd put all the weight on, it was when he was just starting to get back into shape so he could come
Yeah.
back. But yeah, fantastic clip.
Well, I must admit I do like watching a decent fall.
Well, you won't be disappointed. I'm conscious of time and I'm going to have to eat and give my son his lunch.
Yeah,
So we've only went over half an hour longer than we said we would. So
and we haven't talked about some of the stuff.
no, we haven't. So it's always good to have plenty for a next episode. So I'm
Yeah,
just going to get the we wanted to big up um one of our followers, didn't we?
we did.
Ruddy Muddy. So I shall read out.
The love.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, a little something about Ruddy Muddy art and encourage people to take a look at his works again. Very original, and so I'll tell you a little bit about yeah, about him and what he does. So, um, Ruddy Muddy is a Norfolk lad from the let's see, all right, Wymondham area. Bracket, you either know how to pronounce that or you don't. I'm guessing I don't.
Well,
Anyway,
that's why I wanted you to read it out,
all right,
Matthew, because I
thanks.
was really
Yeah.
intrigued to see how you would pronounce that.
Wymondham. Anyway, became Ruddy Muddy about 18 years ago. Drove a white van for my job. And when it got dirty, people would write and draw rude stuff. The great British public never disappoint, do they? My guess
No.
would be, I wish our lass was as dirty as this van. Uh, Clean me. Um,
Hopefully, needs a
and
classic.
uh, 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 a male part. I'm guessing that they would form the bulk of.
I didn't really want to say, but I'm glad you mentioned it.
I have never done that, by the way. I've never done any of
Yeah,
this.
right.
Anyway, so when it got dirty, people would write and draw rude stuff. I started drawing over as didn't want my young children to see it. Then realized if the drawings look good, people stop the rude stuff. It's really cool, this. Um,
Yeah.
I started signing them with my initials, RM, uh, Ricky Mins. And people told me to start a social media page to share the muddy art. I wanted to keep it separate from my more normal art, so I needed a new name. As I signed them RM and they were in mud, I came up with Ruddy Muddy. So I think
That is a great
how cool
name.
is that? It's brilliant, isn't it? And this again, just how like
Yeah.
discovering things like that through your art group, your Facebook group. Um, Again, this is it, discovering these kind of unique artists. And I've mentioned before, I think that
Yeah.
the other one, that the tiny art guy,
Yeah.
it's that where people have that their own unique, and Tony with his little bods, their own unique.
They're very
Yeah,
original. And what we'll do as
fantastic.
well is
Brilliant. Check him
when
out.
when I do post this, what we'll do is we'll add the link to Ruddy
Yes.
Muddy's page, so anyone who's watching can pop along and have a look at his absolutely amazing artwork.
Yeah.
But he doesn't just do the mud creations either. So what he will do is it's really, really interesting, and even me explaining it's not going to give it as much credit as it deserves. But if you pop along his page and look, they literally a white dirty van, and it's had like the dirt removed, which creates this absolutely amazing piece of work.
Yeah,
Stunning
yeah,
pieces of work, really are. And yeah, it absolutely blows my mind how anyone can do that on a
yeah.
surface like that.
I wonder how long did it take him
Amazing.
to create?
I know, yeah.
Because I
I
can't
would love
imagine.
to watch like a
Yeah,
progress video of
yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, yeah. So we'll plant that seed. We'd like to see
Yeah.
a progress. And thank you. Oh, and thank you for the tip about time lapse. The time
Oh, no, no problem.
setting on your foot.
Have
I
you found it useful?
didn't know. So my latest, say the what I'm doing a commission at the for at the moment. I'm recording the whole thing on time lapse. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, well, that should be interesting. I've also, before we leave, I found two beautiful, stunning items on my school run this morning.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Go on then.
These these wonderful little contraptions.
So, what monster lager? What do you what?
So that's
Oh, so that
a cider, a cider can.
what type of
That,
cider is it? Like rocket fuel cider or like Strongbow? Is it?
I think it's Strongbow. It says original dry cider, and it's got like the outline of the. I think it's Strongbow,
Yeah.
but I mean, this one's definitely Coke can because on that
Yeah.
side it's still got some of its originality. But I just love these so much. I really do, and it's
What,
no, that sounds odd, but
well, what's happened to them? What like?
right. So on the school run, I noticed that the grass was a bit burned, like along the lane, and I was thinking, oh, that's somebody must have made a fire. Or sometimes if it's really hot, I think it can set a light there as well. So I don't know the cause. And then as I was walking, I just spotted like I think there was a few more things that I'm gonna have a little rummage through when I go back for the kids if it's still there and someone else hasn't beat me to it.
I can't
But
wait to see what you find.
I just they've obviously been burned and just left when the fire's been put out. But I just how can you not fall in love with that?
So, do you have an idea of what you're going to do with it, or will it just be literally just spur and at some point you think I'm going to do something with that, and you'll just see what comes out, or have you
Yeah,
started
I'll just
thinking to yourself what you'd like to do with it?
no, I've not decided yet. So the last one I did was on a little can like this. But the
Yeah,
burn area tend to be a little bit more on the brown side,
yeah,
where
yeah. I
these are
remember that
more
one. Yeah,
the darker side. So what I will probably do is I'll spray them with varnish to preserve these wonderful patterns on it,
yeah,
preserve the artwork that's already there,
yeah, yeah.
and then
Nature's art.
yeah. Well, I don't know if it
Well,
was nature.
I was going to
Could have
say,
been
or a couple of young
vandals.
ruffians. But anyway,
Yeah, I'll probably seal them up and then I'll be painting something on. I haven't decided what yet. It tends to come to me as I'm just sort of looking at them, but where you can see these areas, it's peeled away. I don't want it to lose any of what's there, so I will be sealing it first. But yeah, I have this weird fascination, me, with like rusty stuff, like a proper rusty car door. Like it's like I just can't. I just need to get over there and touch it and paint on it. And the kids were saying to me before, "Your mum, you like salad fingers." I don't like rusty stuff. Like, but
But
yeah, I just
seeing that makes me think of Banksy for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. I suppose like kind of urban style thing. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I tell you what as well. You've just reminded me something I saw the other day that I loved. It was on one of the social media like TikTok, Instagram, whatever, and it was an artist who that so there was an image of someone. It was a young woman, I think, at the edge of a cliff. It was like kind of black and white.
yeah.
It was at the edge of a cliff, and he started putting like thread through it, and
Oh,
ended
I've
up
seen this.
so she was like carrying like a broken heart. It just was, yeah, it was
Yeah,
just amazing. And seeing there was what where and you see where they'll do it and they'll tear something and then it'll just really I wish I remembered who it was, but
I
you
know who
just
you
think,
mean.
yeah,
I can't think of it's. I think it's a man. I can't think of his name either. But if it's the same one that I've seen, he also has like a boy with a bat and a ball, and then he leaves it and he frames it, and then he gets like a hammer and a nail or something because the glass is like a protected glass, like
yeah.
a reinforced, so it doesn't shatter. And then he gets it and he
Oh
cracks it
yes,
down and it
yes,
creates a crack where the
yeah,
ball it looks like it's hit a window.
yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, it will be good. And there was one where the can, kids talking through
Yeah.
cans, two separate ones, and had string attaching
Oh
them.
yeah, I've seen it.
Oh, good that. Brilliant. Absolutely
It's
brilliant.
they really are like truly amazing pieces, aren't they? And
Yeah,
like where you
yeah.
think, how on earth has he thought of that?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it's brilliant, absolutely fantastic idea.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Never know. I might come up with some original one day. Who knows? No. And right, I'm gonna go because I can feel a rant coming on, and we don't need that after an hour and a half. However long it
No, yeah. I do ever come off the podcasts and then just feel more energetic to
Oh
talk.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah, we'll get another one booked in. Obviously, we won't be leaving it so long, and
No.
because we do need to chat about your writing as well.
Oh yeah, and even I forgot about that.
Yeah, so that's one to look forward to for next time. Again, any if anyone's got any questions, any comments, anything that they would like to see in or hear in future episodes, and I am curious about that are kind of those pet peeves, those moments as an artist where you're like, oh, yeah, and
Yeah,
like you think you do all right, but then it's not away. And is there a particular mistake or something that happens in your process where it just sucks the air out of you? Yeah. So moving eyes is mine. But anyway, there you go.
yeah. It's jaws and faces, like the edges for me. But I would love like you to hear what anybody else has to say about what they hate doing.
Explain jaws and faces. Is that where because that working from the outside, how
Yeah.
it get it
So
right?
working from the eyes and nose outwards
Yeah,
then leaves you with a face without a frame.
yeah, yeah.
It's got nothing, it's just a face. And so you've got to kind of then work out where your jawline's going. And yeah, that's one of the things I absolutely hate.
Right.
I think if I sketched it out before I did it, it would make my life a lot easier, but I
Yeah,
don't like to do it that way. Yeah. And I'm quite interested as well in the comments if people want to share any tips for other artists and what they
yeah,
find useful or what they
yeah,
like to use, or I always find it nice to share ideas
yeah.
um, in case it can help somebody else.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. That's yeah, absolutely. And if you could send me maybe a selection of your favorite gates, and we'll use them for the cover image. Uh,
I cannot wait to get some gates. But the thing is I can't steal somebody else's pictures of gates. I'll have to take some myself.
all
So
right.
when I'm on my school run today, as I'm walking down the road, I will eye up the local gates, and if I find one that's really attractive, I will photograph it and send it to you.
Maybe put your cannons on them as well, like tin
Yeah,
can.
I can model them. I can stand by them, do a few selfies.
Yeah. Oh, the world's your oyster. Right. Look forward to that.
Yeah, I look
Uh,
forward to photographing gates.
yeah, I'm
It's
sure it'll be
been,
a lot of fun. Right. So, thank you for if you've managed to stay with us this long. Thank you very much. Uh, and yeah, we shall see and speak with you again very soon. Bye bye.
yeah, bye.